another King's Christian Collegiate Comtech tutorial. Today we're going to create a 3D pop-out effect from a 2D image. It's actually a fairly quick and easy process. There are a few little things here and there that tend to confuse people and trip them up, so we'll try to address those as well as we can. So here we have our image. The first thing we want to do is duplicate this image twice. To do that, it's very simple. Hold down Command on your Mac keyboard and click J once, twice. So now we have 3 versions of the exact same image. Next, we want to create another layer. So we'll go down here to the new layer icon and left click, and we've created a new blank layer. And we'll drag this layer down between the top 2 layers. Let's take a quick second to rename these layers. Simply double click on layer 1 copy, and we're going to call this pop out. Layer 2 we will call frame, and layer 3 we will call flat. Background layer we'll just leave as a background layer. Next, we want to turn off this top layer. We want to make it invisible. We do that simply by clicking the little eyeball. So let's activate our background layer. So we'll just click on background. It'll turn blue. That's how you know that layer is active. If you're trying to do something and it doesn't seem to be working, that's the first thing you should do is go and look at this layer panel and see if the one you're trying to make changes to is active. So in this case, we want to turn this background layer black. So we're going to go over here to our foreground and background patches. This is our background color and this is our foreground color. We want the foreground color to be black. So if this foreground color right here is anything but black, all you need to do is go to the little default button right above it and click it. And now it's black. So we've got our black foreground color activated. We've got our appropriate layer activated. All you need to do now on your Mac keyboard is hold down Alt or Option and delete. And now it's black. Next, we want to activate our frame layer. So simply go up to the frame layer and click it. It's blue, so it's active. And we want to add the frame for the actual photograph that is going to look like it's laying flat on a surface. So we'll do that by using the rectangular Marquee Tool. So over in our toolbar, second from the top, we see the rectangular Marquee Tool. If you see something here that's not a rectangle, if it's an oval or a couple of different shapes, all you simply have to do is hold down Control on your Mac keyboard and left click, and a little option menu will pop out, and make sure rectangular Marquee Tool is the one that is to be selected. Then it's simply a matter of coming over to your canvas and dragging out your rectangle wherever you want it. Now, this doesn't have to be precise at this point. We can make changes to this in a few seconds. We'll do exactly that, but we'll just drag it out for now and let go. And now you've got all these little marching ant things going around there, and that shows us that that shape is there and that shape is active. So we've got it in place. Now we want to give it that little border like an old photograph used to have when they used to have the little white borders around it. So we're going to do that. We're going to go up to Edit. We're going to go down to Stroke, and this stroke box will pop up. Now, the width of your stroke will depend on the size of the initial image. You're probably safe anywhere between about 12 and 25, somewhere in there. I went right around the middle, about 20 pixels. And the color you want to be white. So if this box is any color except white, simply left click. You'll get this color map, and simply drag the little circle up to that top left corner, making it white, and click OK. Once you've done that, you've got 20 pixels, you've got the right color white. Make sure your inside location is selected. Blending needs to be normal, and opacity needs to be 100%. These 3, I think, are sort of the standard, so you shouldn't have to make any changes there. If so, make sure it's set to these settings and click OK. And there is our border. Now we want to change the perspective on this to make it look like it's laying flat. So we go up to Edit again, we go to Transform, and we come over to Perspective and click Perspective. Now grab one of these top 2 corners, it doesn't matter which one, and drag it toward your subject that's popping out. You'll notice that the opposite corner does the exact same thing that the corner you grabbed is doing. Do the same thing with the bottom corner, except drag it outward a little bit. Now don't drag it so far that you exceed your frame of your original image, otherwise you'll lose those corners of the image you're trying to create. So bring it in and keep it within that frame. If you think it's too high or too short, you can go Command T for your transform tool, and then you can do this. So I'm actually going to have him pop out really far above that shadow right there. Okay. Once that's in place, simply hit return or enter, and there you go. Now, we want to make a quick mask of this, okay? So we are going to go over to our frame. We still have our frame layer active. We're going to hold down Command and click on this frame. This is another one that gets people confused. Don't click outside on the blue part. Click here on this little checkerboard. So hold down Command and click. We have now selected this to create a quick mask. Okay, it doesn't look any different right now, but it will in 1 second because we're going to hold down Shift and Command and press I. And if we drag this out just a little bit, we will now see that these marching ants go all the way around the whole thing. So what we had initially done was only selected this frame, and we've just reversed it, so we have selected everything except the frame. Now, once we've got that, we go over and we simply hit the letter Q on your keyboard, and it has turned red. Come over to your paint bucket over on your toolbar about halfway down. You might see the gradient tool instead of the paint bucket tool. That's fine. Just like up at the marquee, hold down Control and click, and the little option panel will open. Click your paint bucket tool. Bring it over. Anywhere outside, do not click inside this frame, but anywhere outside is fine. And click your left button, and it fills the whole thing. Perfect. Once that is done, hit Q again. Good. Now let's activate the flat layer. So go over here to your layers panel and click the flat layer. Right. Then we're going to go down here and click the quick mask icon. And it fills it with black. That's exactly what we want to happen. Now we're going to go up and activate the pop-out layer, the top layer, and turn the eye back on. Everything disappears. We are back to our original image. That's okay. Most of this is going to disappear in a minute. So now we're going to cut this out. But if you've got some small details that you need to pay attention to, you may need to enlarge this image, which is fine. Hold down Command and press the plus button on your keyboard, and it'll increase your image. Now to cut this out, there's a number of ways to do it. The quickest and easiest way to do it is to simply go over here to the quick selection tool and make that active. If that's not there, hold down Control and click. You'll either see the magic wand or the quick selection. We want quick selection, so click quick selection. Now, anywhere that you want to cut out on your image, you simply hold and you just drag that cursor around. It's recognizing all of those edges and grabbing them. This takes a little bit of precision, a little bit of time. You want to do this carefully. Make sure you grab everything that's going to appear outside of the frame of your final image. So I've got most of it. I have a little marching ant thing around the eyeball. That's going to be a little hole. It's not going to take that eyeball, so I want to make sure I grab that. And then I didn't grab this little tag thing here, so I just want to grab on there as well. Now, let's increase this again just a little bit. So Command plus. I'm going to go one more, plus again. And then I'm going to go up here because I've got things here that I didn't select yet and things that I don't want selected. So let's grab this little trigger. And let's grab this little piece here that we missed. And now we've got some things here that we don't want. So hold down Alt or Option, and you'll notice this little thing has a plus sign in it. If you hold down Alt or Option, it turns to a minus sign. And that actually just takes away the little sections that you don't want. And then you just try to grab the little sections you look, see if we got everything that we need. It looks like we just about have everything that we want. Okay, let's make this small again so we can see what we're doing. So hold down Command and the minus sign as many times as you need to get it down there. Okay. And then we're going to hit Refine Edge. So click Refine Edge. Some people use Smart Radius. I don't like that. I find that it leaves too much sort of rough stuff around these edges. So I just go to Smooth and I smooth it out. Not too much. I take it out to about 5 or 6. And that'll soften those edges a bit. And then I do the contrast just slightly to sharpen those edges back up. And then I click OK. So making sure your pop-out is still active, I select Quick Mask down here. And now we've popped out of the image. The last thing we want to do is turn this background from a solid black, right? That's why we turn this into a solid black background. We want to add a gradient. So let's go back over to our paint bucket tool, hold down Control and click on it, and go to our gradient tool. You want the black and white gradient. So if it's not black and white, you can click on there and this will pop up. You want this one. And click OK. And make sure that you've got different styles here. Make sure that first one is the one that's selected. So let's go to the background. Go here to the top, hold down Shift and drag it down and let go. And that's what we want. And we're finished. That is the entire photograph. There are a few things we could do. There's a little bit of erasing here that could be done. We could take some time to go around this and take some of these edges off. But this gets the basic shape done. And we have created a 3D pop-out effect photograph. Now that it's finished, we simply go up to File. We go over to Save As. And it pops up. Let's call it 3D Jawa 2017 because that's when we did it. I always save to my desktop so I know exactly where it is. In format, we want to save it as a JPEG. So save it as a JPEG, click Save. I always save mine to the largest, to the maximum, and click OK. And it popped up on my desktop right there. And that's it, all finished. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you found it informative and helpful. I look forward to sharing another tutorial with you again in the future.
Utini!